We're on day 3 with our special guest, Ravi Abuvala, better known as the Systems King. He's really been very generous in the sense of just unlocking the vault as if you were a direct client of his on a one-to-one mastermind. So if you haven't watched day 1 and day 2, that's where I need you to get to, right? But stay tuned here now while you're present. Day 3 will bring everything together as well. So without further ado, let's kick this off here. If you are new to the high level ecosystem, if you have never heard of high level and the algorithm forced you into this workshop, well, you're at the right place at the right time. You got some makeup work to do to learn about what we've been going over, but I want you to make your way over to gohighlevel.com/Ravi Abuvala offer. Get your free 30-day trial. If you've been a little bit into marketing or you're a marketing techie geek, you're going to love what you find here. And then once you get that offer going and you set up your trial, we'll actually set everything up for you to speed you through so you get everything up and running and get it moving for you. So if you haven't yet, take a screenshot. Make sure you make your way over. This done-for-you initial setup offer is only good until the end of business day today, PST time. So midnight PST time, this done-for-you setup offer goes away, but you can still get a trial if you need it. They'll both make everything work better together, right? So replays are available. There are many places you could watch it, but the one place that has all the replays available for you is on our website, gohighlevel.com. The link is there. It'll be below. You can watch day 1, 2, and then at the end of the day today, there'll be day 3. Those are evergreen, so make sure you save that link and you take a look as you need as you go through implementing everything we've gone over these past 3 days. I want to just give a shout out to our winner from today, actually winner from yesterday, announced today. If there's a Pam Hoffman in the building, go ahead and comment below. You are our winner to our gift card to our swag store. $50 is on the way to you. Pick up some cool swag, and we thank you for tuning in and engaging. So we're excited about that. Today, you're going to also have a chance to be a winner. Make sure you participate, you share feedback, you add questions, you just have fun. Positive vibes brings the best chance of winning. If you have a question, it's so important you put Q before your question so we can identify it and get it in front of Ravi and Jonah at the end of our session today. What we went over yesterday, is what we're going to compound into today. Our key takeaways are clear and visible here. If you haven't yet tuned in, you can take a screenshot. But basically, we dived deep yesterday into YouTube, how to get started, how to optimize, the algorithm, the process of what you need to know, the rules of the game. Then we jump right into Instagram. How do we start, not start to win and be number one? We want to start to start. We went over now incorporating DMs, automations, and creating content based on your sales copy blueprint, which is part of day 1. So you want to go back to that, and how to attract the ideal clients that want to do business with you. And then obviously integrating everything into Go High Level is what we touched on a little bit yesterday as a sneak peek, but we're going in deep today. As a matter of fact, Jonah Cockshaw is Ravi's administrator of Go High Level within the business. So we brought the subject matter expert that handles everything along with the team to support it. So day 3, said it already, I'll repeat it again. If you love High Level, you're going to love day 3. If you're new to High Level, you're here at the perfect time. Buckle up because we're going in. This is the link for you to take advantage. But wait, there's more. As we start wrapping this up, we got snapshots, we got resources, and we have a winner for today. But that's going to be announced at the end of the training, at the end of the workshop. So you got to stay to the very end or watch the replay. And then once Ravi's done, he's going to unlock the vault. And that vault's going to give you the snapshot. Although we're going to go over it, he's got the key to unlock it. We're here 55 minutes strong. Ravi, welcome. Jonah, welcome. Ravi, I'm throwing you the mic. All yours, man.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Everybody, thank you guys so much for hopping back on today. I know every single day you guys have showed up. I would imagine the majority of people here are from day 1 and day 2. And I genuinely hope that you guys have been getting value. That's why I assume you're back here today. Or maybe you guys just love hearing JB talk. I know I do. As JB said a moment ago, I have the infamous Jonah Cockshaw on the call today. Jonah is all things Go High Level internally in our company. So just for context, We have served over 2,000 clients, and for a good majority of them, we have installed Go High Level for them inside their business. So I'm not just sitting up here telling you do this or do that. I'm saying that for our average client, whenever they sign on, we get their entire marketing system up, built, and launched and generating book calls within 7 days. And Go High Level is the only way that we're able to do that, right? Because we can just put everything in one click snapshot and then install it for them immediately. So if you're new here or if you're coming back, I think you're going to get a lot of value out of this. What I'm going to do first is I'm going to share my screen. And as long as it's okay with JB, I'm going to show you some of the things that you're going to get if you guys stick around until the end of this video today. I'm going to break down some of the resources we're going to give you. And then I'm going to have Jonah share his screen, and we're actually going to walk through the Go High Level setup and snapshot for the implementation. So let me share my screen first here. Boom. So this is what I was thinking. Okay, what do I do for the people that have been coming here from the very beginning, that have watched all the content that we have here? What are we going to give you guys if you stay around until the end of this video, so that you can make sure that you guys, I can make sure that you guys see as much success in the shortest time frame possible. So first and foremost is going to be obvious. We're going to give you a Go High Level snapshot that you're going to plug into this content system that we talked about at the very beginning of the day one and day two. So far we've talked about why you need to create content, how to create content. I love what JB said earlier, learning how do you just start, not start to win, but just posting on there, tracking it, et cetera, et cetera. And so now that we're starting to generate attention, or we're going to start generating attention, how do we funnel that attention so that it becomes leads, calls, and sales for your business? Otherwise, you're just a content creator, and you might as well go, I don't know, live in a house with 7 other people and shoot TikTok videos all day. But I imagine you guys are business owners and you guys want to essentially grow your business. So for that, we're going to give you the full Go High Level snapshot that allows you to do that, which we'll cover in a second here. Jonah's been kind enough to create a full in-depth training tutorial that's going to go even deeper than we are today on the installation video for the Go High Level snapshots. You're going to get that. I'm also going to give you the exact lead to booking script that we use to book 20% of these leads that we have coming in from YouTube and Instagram into qualified book calls in our calendar. Then I had my appointment setting team take screenshots and screen recordings of some recent direct messaging conversations we had with people that came from either YouTube or Instagram that ended up being qualified booked calls and closed deals for our company. So you can see what those example conversations look like. That Instagram tracker that I talked about and showed you guys yesterday, how I'm tracking every single post that we make, doing more of what's working, less of what's not working. I'm going to include that for you guys as well. The YouTube SEO keyword tracker. So how we make it so that every YouTube video we put up ranks for a specific keyword, like ClickUp or like Asana or like LinkedIn Sales Navigator or whatever else it is. And then I'm also going to give you our 10 best performing Instagram Reels, and not just our 10 best performing Instagram Reels for views, right? Anybody can go on my Instagram and see the 10 best performing Instagram Reels. I'm showing you the 10 best Instagram performing Reels that have led to the most calls and sales for the company. So you can't see that anywhere else, and you really can't get this anywhere else unless you were to work with me one-on-one. And I'm giving it away totally for free as a thank you for you guys walking through this entire 3 days with me and hopefully getting some value out of it. So with that being said, Jonah, I'm going to stop sharing my screen. If you can pull up the snapshot on your screen, I'm going to walk through the entire process of once you get the snapshot, how you're essentially going to be going through it. And Jonah's going to be my fingers here, and he's also going to correct me if I'm wrong about something, which he does a great job at doing already. So very simply put, we've discussed this earlier, but right now, let's assume that you're going to get these resources, you're going to get this snapshot, you're starting to post content online, you're starting to get some people interested. They're saying, hey, I want this lead magnet, I want that lead magnet. You're starting to decide, okay, these are the ways that I'm going to be generating leads, calls, and sales for my business. Well, how do you turn that traffic, those people commenting, the people watching your videos on YouTube, how do you turn them into leads in your business? And then how do you turn those from leads to calls and calls to sales? Well, I'm going to show you that inside this Go High Level snapshot. So in order to keep things as simple as possible, I'm going to assume there's some basic understanding, because the nice thing is if you guys sign up through our trial link that's inside of here, you're going to get a full done for you onboarding experience to Go High Level, and they'll be able to go more in the nitty gritty. So Jonah, if you can show them the funnel So we're going to hop over to sites inside of Go High Level, and you'll see that there's one main funnel here, and we call it lead magnet to the video sales letter funnel. And Jonah, maybe if you can zoom in 2 or 3 times on your screen real quick, that might be helpful. Perfect. So I'm going to break down the funnel at a 30,000 foot view, and then I'm going to go a little bit deeper into every single page here. So what we have learned works very well whenever we're creating lead magnets, whenever we're creating content and we're getting all these interests, is that you want to be able to give them the lead magnet they came for, but then you want to immediately try to see if they will book a call to speak with you to see if you can help them do whatever you need to do, help them lose weight, help them generate leads as an agency, you name it, right? And so what we've found works very well after testing literally hundreds of different versions of funnels is you have an opt-in page where you collect the name, email, phone number. We're going to go deep in this in a second. And then whenever they opt in, you send them directly to a video sales letter page with a little wording at the top that says that we're sending you the resource you requested. But first, here is this video sales letter that goes more into depth about what it would be like to work with me, right? Then they're going to book a call from your video sales letter page. They're going to go to your thank you page. And that's where you're going to preempt them or warm them up for your actual sales call. And then I also threw in there a little privacy policy as just a gift. I am not a lawyer. I highly recommend going and speaking to a lawyer. But one of the things that slow our clients down whenever they're getting set up is trying to go and get a privacy policy. So this is pulled directly from the one that we give our clients. You guys are going to have this included inside of there. So you can just have your lawyer review it and really hit the ground running. And this is the funnel that we use and our clients use a lot of times to generate quite a bit of calls and sales for the business. And now what we'll do is let's double click into the opt-in page real quick, Jonah, and let's actually show them if I were to set this up. So let's say you guys came to me and we're like, great, Ravi, I just posted a new YouTube video. And let's say it was about how to run Facebook ads, right? Let's say I'm running a YouTube video. I use the SEO tracker that Ravi gave me, and I'm going to make a video on how to set up Facebook ads. Well, let me show you how pretty simple this is going to be for you guys once you've decided that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make a video on how to run Facebook ads. Well, the first thing we need to decide is what's our lead magnet? Well, a great example would be you're the best 10 Facebook ads that you've ever run, or maybe a step-by-step guide on how to set up Facebook ads, or maybe a illustration or a checklist. Any one of these things you can attach to that video, and the people will want it if they watch that video. So let's say that we create our top 10 ads, right? That's what we create a little, because this is exactly what I'm actually in the process of doing right now. Well, you can see I've already kind of created a little Mad Libs section here for you, but it says download our lead magnet name that has benefit without fear and time frame. So Jonah, if you can type in there real quick and we'll say download our, let's call it our $25 million ad swipe file. So our company's made over $25 million in sales online. So we can say $25 million ad swipe file. So that's the title of it. That has given us a 10 times return on ad spend. And then you say without fear. So without spending all day in Ads Manager. And then if you wanted to, you could add the time frame. I'm actually not going to add a time frame in this one, but you could say in 30 days or something like that. So let's remove in time frame. So download our 25 million ad swipe file that has given us a 10x return on ad spend without spending all day in Ads Manager. Beautiful. That's a great headline and title. It took me about 3 seconds to write that. And then just like that, you're done with the opt-in page. We've given you the simplest thing here. That's how easy and quick it is to the opt-in page. No images. You're not making all these custom texts and things. We're making it so that you can create lead magnets like crazy, right? So we're going to save this one here real quick. And then, and before we leave this, you can see the send me the goodies. We've literally made the button on the very bottom agnostic, meaning that for any single lead magnet you have, all you have to do is change the headline, because every one of them is going to say send me the goodies as the call to action. So if you go to my YouTube and you see all of my lead opt-in pages, they look almost exactly the same as this, and everything's the exact same except for the headline. So it keeps it very, very simple. All right, Jonah, let's hop back out of this and let's go into the video sales letter side. So Jonah's going to click back here. Okay, so this is the video sales letter page. So this is what they see immediately after they opt in. So we've set up, and I'm going to go into the automations here in a moment, but we've set it up so that as soon as someone submits that lead form, I'm going to talk about all the stuff that happens. But as soon as they submit that lead form, they're automatically redirected to this page. So at the very top, it says your resource will be in your email in the next few minutes. But first, so this is, I won't get too deep in it, but this is called opening a loop in marketing. So what you don't want to do is you don't want to say, they say, oh, I want this resource. And you say, great, here it is, because that's called closing a loop in marketing, and you'll never hear from that person ever again. So you should try your best to always leave open loops. So your resource will be in your email in the next few minutes. So you're opening the loop. Oh, it's not there yet, but first, so you're leading into the next thing. And then we're going to say step one, and this is where your video sales letter is. Now, video sales letters, that's going to be that could be a whole other 3-day workshop and training. I've written around 1,000 of them, and we write them for our clients. But the simplest way you can think of it is a video sales letter is like if you were going to talk to somebody who was like, hey, I think I might be interested in working with you, and you give them your whole spiel, like, oh yeah, we help people do this, we've worked with these people do that. That's just a video version of it. It's like a video salesperson. Okay, so every great business has a video sales letter, because if all of your prospects can watch this video, imagine if they get to speak to the perfect salesperson before they speak to you, your salesperson. That's what a video sales letter is. And so in this example I just gave you a moment ago, let's say that I said, hey, here's the $25 million ad swipe file, blah, blah, blah. Then I'm going to say step one, and I'm going to change the headline here to being how we can, and then Jonah, you can type in how we can install a done for you marketing system in the next 7 days. I would just put that. Just to keep it simple, and then remove without fear and in time frame. You can use that stuff if you want to, but I'm just gonna put it there to keep it simple. Okay, so this is a headline, just like the previous headline was, and the nice thing is that this headline really matches up with what the lead magnet was. So if somebody's looking for an ad swipe file, that's probably because they're looking to run ads, which is probably because they're looking to improve or build a marketing system. And so here I am saying how we can install a done for you marketing system in the next 7 days, right? So it's all kind of very congruent. Then you're going to put your video right here. Jonah, if you'll click on there and just show them where they can install the link to the video. On the right-hand side, you can choose YouTube, Vimeo, Wistia, a custom embed, any of that stuff. So you'll put your video right there. And then underneath that, you see it says step 2 and book a demonstration call to learn more. You don't need to change anything else. That's perfect. And then you have your calendar right here as well. And if you want to, when you get the link, your Go High Level team can show you this is our brand colors, but you can easily change the colors to make it your brand colors so it kind of matches on style as well. And that's it. That's all you need to do on the video sales letter page. You're obviously going to install a video sales letter. And just by doing this alone, a certain percentage of people, typically 10% of people, will go ahead and book a call to speak with you after they've downloaded your lead magnet. So if every day you're able to generate enough leads, let's say 100 leads, you could be getting about 10 calls a day just by setting up this funnel here, which is pretty cool. And then if we hop back out to this, Jonah, let's go over to the automations real quick. Oh, I'm sorry. We can show them the thank you page. I saw you about to do that. That's right. The thank you page is very simple. I just didn't, but I'll show you guys. So, and then you have the thank you page. So this is after they booked a call. We've already set up all the automations in text so that after they book the call, they see this page right here. And it essentially says, your demonstration call is booked. Watch this video explaining what to expect on the call. And this is another opportunity for you to kind of pre-sell them before the call. If you remember what we talked about on the first day, Google's 7-11-4 rule, you're doing 7 hours of content across 11 touch points in 4 different locations. So what we are trying to do is give them different areas where we're kind of saying the same thing, like in the video sales letter and on this video right here, but they are different videos, and it's just going to lead people to being more and more warmed up by the time they get on the phone and speak with you. So very simple video. I've actually asked Jonah to leave. This isn't our current one, but this is one that we ran for about a year. Our thank you page video in here. So you can watch this whenever you get access to this snapshot. Nobody else has access to this unless you get the snapshot here because we took it down, but it worked for us for well over a year until we made some adjustments for our offer. So that being said, let's hop over to the automation. So we'll go out of here. So that's not all. So that's a full funnel. That alone can start generating you 3, 5, 10 calls a day, depending on how much content you're creating. What we're going to do now is hop over to the automation side. So Jonah's going to click on automation right here on the left-hand side. Underneath the workflows, we have three main workflows. We're a huge fan of simplicity at our company, so I'm not trying to give you 800 workflows and automations inside of here. So I'm actually going to start with a lead magnet name workflow. Now, before you click on that, Jonah, if you'll hop back out real quick. We call it lead magnet name with those brackets. Jonah, if you can zoom in on your screen for me one more time, please. So we call it lead magnet name workflow on here because what you're going to do is anytime you create a new lead magnet, you're actually going to duplicate this workflow and add a new one. So an example here would be I would call this one $25 million ad swipe file workflow. And then if I were to create a new lead magnet, let's say I did a LinkedIn ad workflow, I could say LinkedIn ad workflow. And if I did another one, I could say Instagram tracker workflow. And so you're having different workflows for all the different lead magnets you have. That way you can start separating where leads come from and also make sure they do get access to that resource in their email. Okay, so click on lead magnet workflow, Jonah, please. So very simple. Go High Level automation is amazing in the sense that it follows it's called an if this then that automation, where if something happens, then something else happens. So we're going to say if this form is submitted. So Jonah, if you can click on the trigger real quick, and you can see very quickly here that we say the form is lead form. But let's say you were to change the form and you were going to create a new lead magnet, you would just simply create the new form and call it $25 million ad swipe file, Instagram tracker, et cetera, and that would be the thing that you would change. And then when we're walking through the automations here, it says add lead to pipeline. So as soon as the lead comes in, we're going to add them to the sales pipeline, which I'll talk about here in a moment. And you can see underneath opportunity source right here that we call it the lead magnet name. So that way you can see which lead magnet this person came from. Assign it to a team member. So you're going to want to assign it to somebody so they can be responsible for moving that lead along the journey. Then you're going to send an in-app notification. So this is how we know that you just got a lead that came in from this specific lead magnet. You're going to add a note to the contact that says that in case you ever called this person, let's say 4, 5, 6 days later, you could see the notes of what kind of resources they downloaded so you could reference that on a call. For example, imagine that you downloaded, let's say, my $25 million ad tracker. I called you 6 days from now. They're like, I don't really remember who you are. I could say, oh, you don't remember about 6 days ago, you downloaded our $25 million ad tracker, right? And so now we have a reference point for what they had downloaded. Then we're going to wait 3 minutes from when they opt in, and we're actually going to send them an email and a text message. So in this email, we do exactly what we promised on our funnel, which is always what you want to do. You want to be a person of your word. That's what great branding is. People want to, if you say you're going to do something and you do it, they're going to associate that together with your brand. So you're going to, we say the subject line is you asked for this. And then we send a very, very simple email. It's called the lead magnet email. And it says, hey, first name, I saw you wanted our $25 million lead magnet. Here it is. And we're going to put a hyperlink to it right there. And then we say also, and here's a qualifying question that we're going to ask. So I'll get more into this a little bit later, and it's going to be inside of the resources that you get when you get the snapshot. But you always want to leave them with an open-ended question. And specifically, you want to really identify 3 main questions that can lead somebody to a sales call with you. So, for example, for us, we always ask what type of business they run and what price point do they sell their product or service at, because those determine whether we can even work with that person or not. So instead of trying to call every single person that downloads a $25 million ad swipe file, what if we only call the people that responded back to our message and that we knew we could help, right? So out of 100 leads a day, it could really only be 20 people that we could help. And so by doing that, we can save time, energy, and effort by only going after the most qualified people, right? And when you download the snapshot, we won't go too deep into custom values here. If you don't know what these are, it's another really great feature of Go High Level where you can really have anything that you want to plugged into messages or automations or text or emails later on. So for example, here, you could say, I'm going to add all these different lead magnet names into Go High Level. And so anytime someone downloaded it, I could just create this custom field and say, here's that lead magnet name, here's the URL, et cetera, et cetera. Same thing with a first name, a last name, your business name, all of these things. So it allows a lot of customization. It's a little bit outside of the scope of this video, and I wouldn't sweat it that much, but I wanted to show you guys it here. Jonah, if you'll hop out of this really quickly for me. JB, I'm going to take 1 second here. Is this speed and everything okay? Are you good with all this?
Absolutely. I want to clarify one question that some folks are asking on different platforms. Do I have to cancel my account or create a new account to get access to this? Absolutely not. So as long as you're an existing customer of High Level, you'll receive access to this. If you're not a customer of High Level, you'll receive access just because we have a public drive that we're sharing with everybody to the documents. But I just want you to keep in mind the butter is what makes the bread taste good. The butter is the snapshot. So don't let the butter go. You need the snapshot to make all of this bread taste great. So whether you know it or not, or don't know what I'm talking about, or you don't like bread or you don't like butter, I'm sorry, but the snapshot, you need a trial account. Back to you.
Thank you,
I got
sir.
to work on the dad jokes a bit. I'm working on the dad jokes.
It's all good. You can
Okay.
ask my girlfriend. I'm dad joke central over here. So it's I got a puppy
Jonah
recently.
cracked the lab,
Jonah,
so we're good to go. Jonah
well,
cracked the
Jonah
lab.
is actually a dad. He recently, literally within the past few weeks, just actually became a dad. So he
Congratulations. Let's give Jonah a shout out. Go ahead and type in the chat.
yeah,
Congrats,
he's
Jonah,
justified. Yeah.
on new dad mode. Congrats, man. Sorry, back to you guys.
That's the bags under his eyes if you see it there. Okay, that's what the no sleep is for his
Amen.
eyes. So cool. So that's the lead magnet email. So we're sending them an email after they become a lead of ours. Then if we hop over to the text message, we set up a text message sequence, and this is the exact text message sequence that we use. And this is some real secret sauce I'm giving away here for you guys. So a few things you'll notice here. So first of all, you see it says, Jonah, if you can zoom in again for me on the actual text itself, that would be amazing. So it says, hey, contact first name, and then we put a Q in it, right? I'm going to explain why we do that in a second. So it would say, hey, Jonah, Q, right? It's Ravi from Scaling with Systems. Okay, Jonah, go to the next text message here. So you just typoed them, their first name. You're going to wait 30 seconds, and then you're going to say, oh, asterisk, real first name. Sorry, LOL. So then I'm going to say Jonah. Sorry, LOL. So just by doing that, our response rates on that first message are insane because people think it's a real person instead of an automation because we purposely put a typo in the automation. We put a Q in everybody's name. And so by doing that, they think, oh, nobody would be crazy enough to make an automation that purposely did a typo. It must be a real person, but they've never met the systems king before, right? So that's how we set our stuff up here. So then we say contact first name, sorry, LOL, and then we go to the SMS number 3. And this is where we say, I saw you just grabbed our custom value lead magnet name, our $25 million ad supply file. Would you be offended if I asked you 2 or 3 quick questions real quick? I have some additional training I can send you for free if I have more context. If you're interested, respond with what you do for your clients and what your pricing is, and I'll get back to you ASAP. So it's the exact same messaging that we're kind of putting in that email. We're trying to get that first question back from them. And it's what I'm talking about when you're just trying to start that conversation to be able to get those 3 questions through and set them on a booked call, right? That's called kind of like social selling a little bit. You're having a conversation with them before you're trying to hard sell them. This is if you opt into any of my funnels, you will get this literal exact same word for word messaging. And I'm giving you guys this year after we have tested thousands of different messages all the way end to end and see what's worked. This has worked every single time for us incredibly well. So you guys are going to get that included. And so what you'll do, right? So let's just say your daily workflow is going to be this, and then we're going to jump to the other automations. Wake up in the morning, create a piece of content, post it online. From then, you're going to open up your Go High Level inbox underneath your conversations, and there should be dozens of inbound conversations of people saying, "Hey, I do this and I do that," and so you're not going out there chasing everybody. You're starting your day with people that are coming to you saying, "Yeah, this is what I do. How can you help me more?" Right? Which is exactly what. If you had to think of marketing in the simplest form possible, that's what marketing is. You're getting people to essentially raise their hand and say, I could be interested in working more with you. And then you go and you continue the conversation with them. But we're using automations and funnels and content to make the process a million times smoother. So I hope that makes sense. What we can do now is hop out of this really quickly, Jonah. We'll hop on the 2 final workflows here. So the next one's going to be the book call workflow. So this is going to be once they've actually booked the call, we set up very simple automation sequences. So after they book the call, we're going to remove them from the lead workflow. So this is important because if somebody opts in to your lead magnet, well, you don't want to, and then they book a call immediately after, you don't want to keep on sending them text messages, trying to get them to tell you more about who they are when they've already booked the call, right? So you want to remove them from the lead workflow. Then we add them to the pipeline booked call stage, which we're going to show you the pipeline as the last thing here in a moment. Add the system note to let you know that they've just booked a call. send you a notification to let you know. And then all we do, we don't have to break this down in depth because it's very simple, but we literally just send a confirmation email and a text message saying you just booked a call. Here's the time that it is. And then 10 minutes before it, we send another text message that says the call's in 10 minutes. Here's the Zoom link. Here's the link, et cetera, et cetera. Don't make it more complicated than that. And this is just to increase your show up rates when people actually book calls. We can hop out, Jonah, to the workflows. We're going to do the DM one, and then we're going to do the CRM, and then we're going to open this back up to questions for everyone. So as JB was talking about yesterday, the nice thing about Go High Level is you can also have a trigger set up for if somebody comments on one of your posts. So as I showed you guys on when I was showing you my Instagram reels, one of the things I'll do is I'll say, hey, comment this thing below if you want access to these resources. Well, what you can do is you can set up a trigger that if someone comments on a specific post, Jonah, if you'll click on that trigger real quick, and they say a specific keyword. So it could be scale, grow, IG, sheets, go high level, any one of these things here, then it will trigger this automation. So you can, this is really great to set up because when you're doing the lead magnet, if you're on Instagram, for example, you want to have the ability to automate the responses. Because I posted an Instagram reel this morning, and within an hour, I had 120 comments on it. So I'm not the one that's going, oh, let me go send the link and everything. It's all automating the messages. So that's what the trigger is here. And just like you would on the lead magnet one, you would just duplicate this one for every single different keyword that you had. All right, Jonah, if we can go back over to the messages. So it's going to wait 4 minutes, and then it's going to send them an IG DM. And if you'll see, it's all following the exact same framework. Jonah, if you'll zoom in on the message, please, real quick. So it says, hey, contact first name, saw that you wanted that resource. We just say that resource so you don't have to keep on changing keywords all the time. I'll get you to that in a moment. I also have a bunch of a free additional training I can send your way if I have a little more context. Send. And then what we do is we wait 30 seconds and we send another message. This is how it makes it feel like a real message. If you're interested, why don't you tell me and then the first qualifying question, the same one that you put in the email, the same one that you put in the text message. And so that way, you're starting those conversations. And just like I said, it's going to go with your inbound messages from text and email. You can also start and go high level with your inbound messages from Instagram as well. So if you do this correctly, you could literally come every single morning to 30, 40, 50 inbound messages from email, Instagram, and text message. And you don't even have to do any outbound calling. No more cold emails, no more cold LinkedIn messages. It's just people are coming to you every single day. Jonah, let's wrap this up and hop over to the CRM. And then JB, I'll open it back up to you for any additional questions that we have. And we'll go over the resource bonuses one more time and anything else you need from me. So the final thing inside Go High Level, another reason why we really love it is because it also has the actual CRM inside of it. So not only can you do the funnels and the automations and the sites and all of that stuff, but you can also put all the leads inside of a pipeline so that your sales team, your appointment setters can manage it. So whenever somebody becomes a new lead, so whenever they opt into your lead magnet or they respond to one of your messages, they'll pop up in this new lead column on the far left-hand side right here. This is really great because after you hit all those inbound messages of people that have responded back to you, you're going to want to look at your new leads column here and say, well, let me try to maybe pick up the phone and call, email, or text the people that are in this pipeline or in this stage and move them to the next stage, which is going to be booked calls. These are the people that are booked calls. They're going to automatically move here based on that automation that we set up for you guys already. And then the rest of them are going to be demo completed, not closed. This is what we call people that we finished the call with, but they didn't buy right away. Then you have no showed and rescheduled. That's pretty obvious. You have a bad fit if they aren't qualified. You have one, and then you have lost. And these are people that just said, hey, I'm not going to work with you. I never want to work with you. Don't ever message me again. You can put them in that pipeline over there. So we're going to zoom back out 30,000 foot view real quick one more time, and then I'm going to pass it back over to JB, right? So just to recap, your day-to-day basis, and I'm actually going to, Jonah, if you can stop sharing your screen for 1 second. Your day-to-day work is going to be every single day you post one piece of content either on YouTube or Instagram. Then once you post that content, you attach a relevant lead magnet to that piece of content. And then you go inside your Go High Level snapshot that Scaling with Systems and Ravi Abuvala has so generously given you. And you're going to duplicate the opt-in page and make it relevant to that specific lead magnet. You're going to duplicate the IGDM if maybe it's on Instagram, and you're going to add that little message inside of it. And then you're going to go after you've done that. So that's how you bring new leads in. Now you're going to work your current leads. You're going to look at all the inbound messages that you have from people that are responding back to the automations. And then you finally end the day by doing the outbound stuff, which is the people that haven't responded back to your stuff, but they did download the lead magnet and you try to set them on the call. And so if you guys if you guys want to take advantage of everything that I'm talking about here. JB is going to release this for you guys in a moment, but you get the snapshot, the installation video, our full lead to booking script. So I just kind of covered a little bit here. The example direct messaging conversations of people that have been set, our Instagram tracker that doubled my Instagram growth in 30 days, our YouTube SEO keyword tracker that ranks for me every time for every YouTube video I publish, and our 10 best performing Instagram reels that have led to the most leads, calls, and sales. With that being said, JB, I will pass it back to you, kind sir.
Let me catch the mic before it breaks. Hold on a second. Don't drop the mic quite yet, man. We still got some time here. Look, y'all, I hope you're as excited as I am, right? And, call me a techie, call me a geek, or just call me just like you, that you enjoy value, you enjoy strategies, you enjoy talking shop with what you do for a living, right? Whether you're a manager at a business or you own your own business, these are tools and resources that alone, high level, could do, but having someone that you see, know, and get to be familiar with do it and show you how they do it is even more powerful. So you've all have asked a bunch of questions, and I have a few questions for Jonah. If you're okay with that, you're cool with that. If you guys split this up a little bit, it's a couple of techie questions. So first question for Jonah. Jonah, when it comes to being the Go High Level administrator for scaling with systems, what are some things that you do to stay sharp, to stay cutting edge ahead of the game?
So for me, spending a lot of time in high level helps, which I naturally do anyway as part of the job. I'm constantly working with clients, they're throwing questions at me, and I'm constantly having to figure stuff out as I go. Obviously, high level is changing virtually every day. We see new videos from Sean Clark coming at you from high level with new updates. So I'm constantly watching those. Spending time in the high level communities helps a lot. And really just exposing yourself to new challenges and ideas and things that you might like to try and build in high level. I learn really, really well the hard way in actually throwing myself at something and figuring it out as I go, really. So definitely spending time in communities, definitely exposing myself to new challenges, ideas, problems helps an awful lot. And just exposing myself to high level each and every day, spending a lot of time in the platform helps a lot as well.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Ravi, question for you. When it comes to, in your experience working with different industries, for someone that is more of a generalist at the moment, to attract a few customers to then find out what their specialty really is, how do you go about starting a strategy call, or how do you go about preparing for one when it comes to just their online presence? Kind of just, where do we go? Where do we start from, like, beginner level?
Yeah, so I started as a generalist. I think almost every single person does. I think you'd be doing yourself a disservice if you came at something and you said, this is exactly what I'm going to do, because you don't really know. I would still be helping essential oil companies if I did the first person that I worked with, and that was a total nightmare. So for me, my recommendation would be most of the time, I do agree that somewhat the riches are in the niches, but in reality, it's not necessarily the niche that's coming at you. It's just your solution, right? So you just want to frame your sales call and your content around the solution itself. So I'll give you a great example. The stuff that we do for our clients, building that full end-to-end marketing system done for you in 7 days. We could help anybody that needs leads, calls, and sales in the business. And I had a conversation. I went boat shopping yesterday, and the guy was like, what are you looking for? Or what do you do for business? And I was he's like, oh, I'd love to work with you. We definitely could use more leads, calls, and sales for the boat business. And I was like, look, man, with all due respect, I have 1,300 videos on my YouTube. I would watch those there, but you guys aren't our ideal avatar, because you got to acquire clients through a sales call, and you need to be selling something greater than 2,500. And you guys have showings and all this stuff. And so I could help the boat guy. There's no doubt about it that I definitely could help the boat guy. And if I ended up speaking with him in person, I would just show him a lot of the stuff that I showed you guys. The same thing I would do with my clients here. The benefit of eventually niching down is that you're able to kind of really systemize some of the stuff. So instead of having to have a full custom campaign for every single client that comes in because they're all coming in different areas, you're able to pretty much standardize it up to a certain point because you know what works over and over. And then when you find what works with one client, it's what works for all clients. So I would just change my marketing and sales systems and everything to focus mostly on the solution. So, hey, I will run Facebook ads for you and get you more leads, calls, and sales. You know, right now you're randomly getting leads from different places. I'm going to help install this Go High Level software for you so it's all in one place. I'm going to run traffic to it. You're going to have conversations every single day. If I pitch that to you, that works if you're a real estate agent, a boat dealer, a coach or consultant, an agency, all of that stuff works. And then once you figure out what is the best industry for you, the best niche, then you can start kind of narrowing down your messaging, which will make everything more effective.
Thank you so much. And because a lot of our customers, our viewerships here, they're consultants, they're coaches, they're strategists, they're starting the conversation, and wherever they're at in their journey, the person they're speaking to expects them to be the ultimate expert. So, sometimes what we may be doing with our eyes closed and just, without even purposely thinking about it, may not be the best thing because we're so used to it. So thank you for sharing your perspective on it. Ravi, when it comes to this mindset around leads, in today's age of just everyone doing a little bit of what everyone else is doing, is it better? Is it more strategic to just do online marketing and talk to people online when you have a chance to go in person? Like how do you blend everything from a human element, right? Like the human flesh, but what if they're in like South Africa or Kalamazoo? Like you can't go there. Like how do you determine that whole who do I work with?
Yeah, I think that I always tell people. So, when I first started my real estate advertising agency, or I'm sorry, when I first started my advertising agency, I made $3,000 in 9 months, which I did the math and it came out to about $2 an hour of what I was working. And the problem with that was that I was starting and doing cold email and cold LinkedIn messages and cold calling to thousands of strangers every single day. They had no idea who I was. They had no context. I had no content online. I had no case studies and no testimonials, no referrals. But those coaching programs and people I was talking to, they said, oh, do these cold emails, do these cold messages. And I was doing everything wrong. And that's why I only made $3,000 in 9 months because in reality, I was taking the main asset that I have and that you have watching this right now, which is you already have people that know, like, and trust you, right? So that's you already have it. I don't care if you're single and you live in your mom's basement, whatever, your mom knows, likes, and trusts you, hopefully, right? And so what you really should do in the very beginning is lean heavy into people that already know, like, and trust you for your first few clients. And to tie that story of when I only made $3,000 in the first 9 months, I was about to throw in the towel. I was already $10,000 in debt. I already passed my law school admission test. I was actually supposed to go to law school. I was like, oh, I'll just go back to law school. And as a last ditch effort, I just said, hey, mom, if you know anybody that could use these leads, like, just let me know if you can introduce me. The next day, she introduced me to a woman named Judy Jones. I'll never forget her. And that same day, I go to Judy Jones's office. I explained to her, I've never worked with a real estate agent in my life. I just explained to her the solution. I can get you more leads, calls, and bookings, same thing. And she signed me a check for $3,000 right then and there, $3,000 monthly. And she was a client of mine for 6 months. And then I went back. I told my mom it worked. I gave my mom $300 for giving me that referral. And then she introduced me to 3 more people. And then all of a sudden, I started tapping into my local network. I got this essential oil person. I got the chiropractor that I went to. I got the dentist that I went to. I got the 2 more real estate agents that were my brother's friends. And then I started using all of those case studies to go out to total strangers. And now when I picked up and cold called them or I reached out to them, now I could say, oh, here's the person I've already done this with previously. So I say all of that because I used to do in person. I mean, I don't think I've ever been more nervous in my entire life. And I was driving over to a pitch in person to somebody. I mean, that's like the scariest thing in the world. But it also works the reverse, right? They're also like, if they're seeing you in person, they are aware of that there's an investment. Like I said, I went to the boat dealership yesterday. And even though I found a cheaper boat online, I almost feel obligated to buy it from this guy yesterday because he spent an hour with me yesterday walking through 95-degree Miami heat. And I'm like, damn, this guy worked really hard. So even though I could save probably $20,000 going online, I'll end up working with this guy because it was in person. I really got to connect with him. So that's a really long way of saying that I don't think that people enough leverage. If you're in Africa, you're in Southeast Asia, you're in the United States, you're in Canada, you're in South America, spend time and leverage your local community to get those first few clients, case studies, wins, and then take those case studies, and then you can start going to a larger and larger audience that doesn't know you, but they're sure it's going to work because it's worked so many times before.
Because I'm not gonna lie, man, this whole online right branding is intimidating for a lot of people. Like whether you have the greatest self-confidence, you're in the best shape of your life, or the total opposite, it's still intimidating because as viewers, you're judging and have an opinion on who you're watching. So in the back of your mind, they're thinking they're doing even that 50 times even more. So thank you for that. So again, everything that you've mentioned with the online branding serves as well for hyper local. So if you go to a chamber of commerce, you do a presentation, what are they going to do? They're going to Google you, Yahoo you, Bing you, wherever you're at, they're going to look you up, put what you want them to have in front of you. Is that fair, Ravi?
Yes, 100%.
Awesome. So I'm going to pivot that now into, we have the branding part locked in. We then get into systems because it's easy to spend a whole bunch of time on branding, but then we just have this out of the box tool that we hope does it on its own. We hope it does it on its own. Obviously, Jonah, that's not the case. So this question is for you, Jonah. When it comes to the nurturing, right? The if this, then that, the text message, the email, the messaging, how or where do you recommend starting with the frequency so it doesn't come off just intense or insulting, like with the whole time zones? Like, what are some things that you consider when Robbie says, we're going to go to market on this strategy? Here's the sales copy blueprint. Here's where we're going to put it. Get the messaging to support it. Like, what is your mind process now?
This is a very good question. I think the approach that I've always used in my time in marketing is finding out what works at a small scale manually, as in you're sending out manual messages yourself, perhaps. Maybe you're automating the first couple of messages, like the workflows we've included in the snapshot today. We're including the first few messages of the sequence. Beyond those first few messages, the expectation is initially you're then stepping in and picking up that conversation from there. So it actually is a human interaction from that point onwards. And you're able to then identify what kind of messaging works, what kind of frequency works. How can I actually make this feel like a human interaction? Because it actually is a human interaction. Beyond that point, as you scale, maybe in order to scale, you need to bring on more people to send out more of these human messages. Or if you've actually been able to, at this point, identify a good formula for these messages, like how often, what am I saying, etc., what times of day, you're able to then perhaps automate more and more and more of that experience, but only because you've implemented it manually yourself first. And so it's a kind of a case of putting yourself out there at the forefront, figuring it out. It's going to maybe be a little bit different for everyone, different markets, different industries, different countries, maybe. And then you're able to incorporate what you find and what you learn into your automations. That's the approach that I've used personally. And I think as a framework, that would probably work for most businesses. Although it'll end up looking a little bit different for each business, the approach I think would be the same and should be quite successful for most businesses.
Biggest takeaway from me, and if I'm missing something else, this is important because we all don't look at things the same way. Biggest takeaway from me was the voice you talk, articulate yourself, your personality should come through the messaging and almost be consistent. So it's not like you're happy-go-lucky guy, but then you're really a professional, uptight person. It should be like if what they read, they should almost hear and feel you. Is that a good takeaway to take from this?
I would say so, yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then when it comes to, I think another takeaway was if and to the audience, if I'm missing something, you got to let me know because we got another 3 minutes till we wrap this up. This isn't the 2 hour move that we usually do. This is 55 minutes strong, or we're gonna get an invoice. All right. So help me out here with some question or two. But when we come into the human element, so basically start the conversation how maybe you would start it normally, um, but also getting ready to jump in. So you're telling me is that this thing won't do it by itself, although high level is powerful, you have to jump in and use the two thumbs or the keyboard at some point.
Sure. Yeah,
Okay,
definitely.
okay.
Yeah.
Because sometimes we get confused, like, oh, the conversation AI will do everything, we'll book it up, we'll do this, they'll collect money, they'll even give them a high five. This is
Yeah.
not the case with technology today. This is strictly start it, maintain it, but jump in and be the expert.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly. Yeah.
Anything you want to include
People.
from a systems perspective, Jonah? Because we don't really get to talk to the systems guy behind the operations all the time. Typically, it's to showcase, the entrepreneur in the front case doing the work and rock and rolling. Could you share something, a little bit of wisdom to the audience that are either high level admins, they're looking to aspire to get heavy into high level. Maybe they're switching from the top 3 or 4 platforms out there and putting all their eggs in the high level ecosystem because it's growing quickly. What would you share with them?
It's a very good question. There's an awful lot to share. I think we'd need more than 3 minutes to
That,
to really
give me
dig
your
into
best
that.
2 nuggets, 3 nuggets.
Sure. So I think, first of all, as high level continues to grow, there's more and more that you can do. And one thing that I spend a lot of time doing is continuing to keep up to date with just what is possible with the platform, and trying to have a grasp of like, okay, of the things that I am doing, or of the things that we are doing as a business, what things could be automated, should be automated, what things can I delegate to high level? First of all, so there might be certain messages, certain follow-ups, even things like maybe even if you have a workflow that is automated up to a certain point and there's that handover process, how can you use high level to potentially automate that handover process back to a human being as well? So how can we use high level to keep track of exactly their customer journey? How can we use it to keep track of all the different touch points and their interactions with us, so that when that handover does happen, the salesperson or the setter or whoever it is has all the context they need to just pick that up and run with it, and really maintain a very high quality experience for the lead, the prospect, the customer, whoever it may be. So really constantly looking and auditing the things that you're doing personally and the things that are happening in the business, and auditing and figuring out what of these things can happen in high level is something that I spend a lot of time doing, and I'd encourage anyone else to do as well.
Thank you. Thank you, because there's a lot of people. I don't have to say anything else, man. Thank you for the insight. Thank you for your expertise. Thank you for jumping in and helping Ravi, ourselves, our audience really just kind of comprehend all this like cool stuff. But like, how do we get it to work? Like, batteries are not included, right? Like, so we get the batteries. Now, how do we set the toy up? How do we set the game up, right? So thank you so much, Johan. Help me give a round of applause for Johan in the chat. If you enjoyed what he shared value-wise walkthrough, throw a couple emojis down below, because it's that important that we share the support on that. Ravi, I'm going to just kind of jump into here, if you don't mind, before we kind of wrap this up. Um, is there anything technical that we haven't gone over that you might have thought of last minute, or any point strategic?
No, what Jonah said was really important. I think we kind of brushed through it, and we didn't talk about it too much, but it's the same thing with ads. I've said it earlier as well, but it's the same thing when I talked about, you figure out what's working on a local level and then you go international. The problem that most people have is they try to go from 0 to 100 way too quickly, right? So we gave you a bunch of stuff in here, automations and stuff like that. And yes, you could use the AI automation thing inside Go High Level. You could try to automate 7 or 8 or 9 more messages from people. Like, you could try to make it more advanced, but most people way overcomplicate things. And I think what you're really trying to find here is you're just trying to find one thing that works, and then you want to use automation and systems to do more of it or to make it better. So, even if you didn't set up the entire end-to-end everything inside Go High Level, and you just posted a reel and you did that every day for the next 7 days, and then it said, oh, wow, someone messaged me back and I had a good conversation with them. That ended up being a call. Well, then you figure out, okay, well, how do I do this better faster, right? Oh, well, maybe if I started tracking my reels, maybe if I had a software that was able to send the first message out to them automatically, right? And then once you have that in there, you figure out, well, maybe instead of me sending the messages, maybe I hire an appointment setter. Maybe I hire my own Jonah eventually to set up all the tech and stuff on the back end, right? But don't look at my, my whatever you would call me at, just for easy, let's say like I'm at like 6 as far as like learning systems and automation and stuff like that, and maybe you're at 1, and don't think you got to implement everything as soon as possible. We purposely didn't put every single thing inside Go High Level for the snapshot that we would like if we were working with a client one-on-one, because the number one reason why people stop using a software or stop trying something new is because of overwhelm, right? They feel like, oh, this is too much stuff. So I think that we've done a great job here of just figuring out this is the bare minimum you need to implement this right away. Tomorrow you can start generating leads, and then from there you can really, really start going deeper into some of the great features and Go High Level and expanding on that.
Thank you so much for the insight. And, we're right at the hour. We are right at the hour. We got 5 minutes to spare. So we're going to run through this here. Y'all have been amazing, but we made a commitment and we want to hold our word to it. That's everything about branding. So, snapshot, resources, and today's winner is coming up now. If you want to see that happen, give me a drum roll, give me some emojis, give me just some positive vibes, share a couple of takeaways that you had, share what you would have wished would have been shared, and we'll get maybe some insight on that after the training's over here. But I want to just see this chat blow up, whether you're on YouTube or Facebook, because here's what happens. As you share, you expand your authority because people know that you're on top of your game. And people that are on top of their game want to be around others that are on top of their game. That's why we're here today. So as we keep moving here and the chats are blowing up, our winner today is Roy DS. Will the real Roy DS please stand up? You got to claim your $50 gift card. You threw value out there. You engaged, you liked, showed support. We appreciate you rocking these last 3 days with us. $50 gift card for the swag store, a bunch of new stuff. If you haven't jumped on our swag store, it's store.gohighlevel.com. Check it out. Ravi, could you tell us a little bit about when you take trainings and you see offers or you share offers, like let's just put it out there, right? We're all looking to get ourselves better, and there's an offer and then there's a fulfillment behind it, right? Could you just share a little bit with our audience transparently, like why should they take action now, then hold off another 6 days or 6 weeks, or maybe when they feel that it's right?
Well, so I think in my opinion, specifically for this Go High Level offer here, it's for these reasons here. First of all, I've watched a few other Go High Level workshops. I would say that not a lot of people have given away as much as I'm giving away in this snapshot here. So I always did my research beforehand. So if you were to take advantage of it now, I would take advantage of it now so that you can get access to all these resources that we're giving away totally for free. Other clients pay us anywhere from $15,000 to $50,000 for the exact same things you guys are going to get with a 30-day free trial of Go High Level. Second thing is that, like JB was saying, the main reason why people don't continue on with something, so after you got your Go High Level, is because of overwhelm. And I love that Go High Level implemented this done for you initial setup thing. I've actually tested it out myself, and it's like as soon as you sign up, you can be on a call with somebody immediately who's helping you install the exact same snapshot that we talked about a moment ago. So he said that ends at midnight tonight, so there's no reason why. Even if you ended up not staying after the free trial, there's absolutely, you have no risks on clicking the link and getting access to that and starting your done for you offer now, so that way you can at least set it up. And then the third reason I would say is that most people, like I said earlier, they get overwhelmed with trying to do 10,000 things at once. They want to build multiple video sales letters. They want to run ads. They want to do all these things. And I'd say probably based on what I talked about, JB, the majority of people watching this are like, just getting their business or agency started, or they're in the early stages of it, just like any other number. Less than 4% of businesses make over $1 million a year. So for all those people there, all you need is just one traffic source and one way to turn leads into calls, right? That's all. You don't need to complicate stuff. And after working with 2,000 businesses, I think that this is the best way to do it. And so if you were to just take advantage of this 30-day free trial, you could get what has taken me 4 years and other people pay $15,000 for. You can get immediately, and with a done for you initial setup, you can get it set up within seconds as well.
And like Ravi said, you click that link, it goes right to a Zoom room. They already know where you came from. They know what you need done. They have everything ready to go. Like, this is not a please hold until the next operator gets to you. I mean, we call them superhuman. I call them superhumans because these folks are like I mean, they're like robots. They know everything from like an AI to a human to an experience because they're seeing thousands of tickets and users a day. Your situation is not unique. Thank you for explaining that, Ravi. It's a lot different when it comes from someone who right's built a business off of this and it's still up and running. So you guys heard it, PST time zone. So midnight PST, Pacific Standard Time, gives you a couple of extra hours if you're on that Eastern time zone flow. Okay, great. So without further ado here, without breaking the place, let's get to our resources. The gates are open, y'all. Y'all have been with us here. We appreciate your engagement. We appreciate your excitement, your insight. Jump to that link. Jordan's put it in the comments for a hyperlink. Take a screenshot of this. This is what you need. Now you got to take action, implementation, get it done. You heard it from Go High Level subject matter expert that works in the business. You heard it from somebody that's been running a business, helping other businesses grow. I'm just here to moderate, but y'all just like, we got everything that you asked for. Here it is. So that being said, what I was going to say what a week, but what a 72 hours. How you feeling, Jonah? I mean, I wish you were here a little earlier because you would have gave me a little bit of a break, but Ravi he's hands-on, man. He'll work you.
Tell me about it.
Well, thank you, man, for hanging out with us. Ravi, bring us home, bro. We're done. We're at the finish line here. I'm following your lead. Take us home.
Yeah, I'll just say thank you everybody for hopping on here. I already see there's I think I just looked at it a second ago. There's like 35 people on that document. So I'm glad people are already jumping in there and taking advantage of it. Thank you guys, everyone, for showing up. Thanks for Go High Level for having us on here. I've already talked about the people that take action versus people that don't, so I'm not going to beat that dead horse. The only thing I'll open up for is if you guys do have additional questions, whatever else it is, or you want some additional content from me, you can go to my YouTube or Instagram where I have a bunch of additional trainings on there, including some Go High Level stuff, some additional stuff there as well. And thank you, Jonah, for hopping up on here. Thank you, JB, for being the master of ceremonies. Master, definitely. And don't sleep on this, you guys. This is a pretty awesome opportunity and offer that Go High Level put together. And I would definitely take advantage of it while the gates are still open.
All right, y'all. Y'all know what we do. When I say go, you type high level. Type in the chat high level, Go High Level. What you think about this? Let's close out strong in the comments. Till next time, we'll see you. Take care, everybody.